to bring you down hard.
My God, my God.
And he uses examples of men and women. And when he brings them down, sometimes the people of God got to go through some hardship before they see the power of the loosening of where they were.
Amen.
Because every time he hardened his heart, he got a little bit tighter on the people of God.
Yes.
See, and that made me dig into the word. It really made me dig in and see what God was doing. And when I really started digging in, you know what I saw? Was that God didn't send Moses back to his people because they were already in bondage. They didn't know nothing about freedom. They didn't even want him. How many folks would have wanted an 80-year-old man to talk about they're going to deliver you?
Amen.
Come, now y'all need to get real. Y'all know, honey, some of y'all want to sit down your pastor now. And he ain't even that old. You know what I'm saying? All he got to do is get you sick.
My Lord, my Lord.
We ain't trying to pray him up. Sometimes we try to figure out how we can get somebody else to take over their spot.
I know.
But you have to understand that when God begins to shift and do things, he don't do it because he think you're in the place to make a good decision. So when Moses was given charge to go to Pharaoh, he didn't tell him, go to your people first and tell them, I'm going to be your deliverer. You know where God sent him first? He sent him straight to the devil himself. Sent him straight to Pharaoh. See, the mandate on a real called man or woman of God is not who you try to get to be behind you knowing that you get ready to deliver them. Because sometimes we're trying to get our crew behind us first.
That's right.
But there's a time when you got to have enough of God to let God show who he is. And he wants to bring the people out so that the whole world know it wasn't man.
Oh my God.
It was a mighty God. See, he used an old man so that man couldn't get no glory. And he had to talk to him to tell him every single step. Do you know now, y'all not going to like this. The problem with today's ministers, they don't look at too many successful folks.
Yes, my Lord.
And they're trying to try out all that they can learn from all the other folks.
Yes.
So whatever God might have for you, when it's not working, you were like, I wonder why it ain't working like that for me. Because you didn't hear from God. You just took up something and started working it.
All right.
Somebody said, how do you know that, Pastor? Because I got some people at home.
All right.
And you know, I'm after a building. And the kind of building I'm after ain't no little building. But they going by numbers. I ain't going by numbers.
Amen.
I'm not going by numbers. Because what God has for us don't come because you got enough people.
All right.
It don't even come because you got all that kind of money coming in.
All right.
When God want to bless you, he don't go by numbers. Y'all have to get understanding. He goes by his own omnipotent power.
All right.
That's why he sent Moses in there to go deliver a nation full of people that was bound up. And the nation was so bound up that even after they got free, they were still bound.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Amen.
That's right.
Do y'all understand that?
Yes.
I said, well, how could they still be bound and he brought them out of Egypt? Because they were still backwards. They were still in Egypt. They done been there so long, they didn't even know how to be free. Now, you got to understand, honey, there are forces in place that some of you should have been working for God a long time ago. But because of the way you think and the way you pray and the way you come to church and what you do, you're not really free to lead nobody.
Glory.
Some pastors that are pastoring, some bishops, some elders, some deacons, some you name it, any of them. You can name any category you want. Sometimes they're not qualified.
Amen, my Lord.
Because they won't. Somebody said, what they won't do? They won't really humble themselves before God. The only one that can do his work is God.
That's right.
If you can't get an order from God, I don't care if the people never get behind you. I had something that happened this year. You know, y'all know it was a snow and icy and all that kind of stuff. Y'all know how bad it was, right? I knew my people wasn't coming to church that day. But guess what? I was in church.
Hallelujah.
And I went in there purposely. I said, well, I know they ain't coming. I'm just going. I didn't go in because I thought God was going to do any certain thing. I really didn't. I went in there because I just knew it was time for church. And the world don't stop. I don't care how hard it snow, how much the ice fall. They don't stop. They can still get out there and do their corruption. So I went to church, slipping and sliding and doing all the stuff, and went in there and prayed the time that we usually had church. But nobody there to take the offering from. But by the time I got up off my knees, got in my car to go home, somebody called me and said, I need you to come by and pick up some money.
All right.
Hallelujah.
You'll do it.
Now y'all need to hear, it's not about numbers. It's about being there when other folks don't be there.
Amen.
And he gave me more than if they had or came to church.
Hallelujah.
And it happened again the next week. Ice fell again.
Lord. Bless you, Jesus.
And I went to church again, slipping and sliding and doing all the stuff that he had prayed. And one person came in, was praying. I thought they came in for the other church that was sharing the church with. They came in for me. They said, well, Pastor, if I'd known you were going, I said, I don't know what happened. I said, yeah, I thought you were for the other church, so I kept right on going. I just thought you came on in there to pray. But they called me back, and that time, the offering they gave was 2 times as big as the one
Praise the
before.
Lord.
See, you can't beat what God can do.
That's right.
Now somebody said, what did you ask for? I didn't ask for anything. See, faithfulness will cause God to pour out his blessings when you can't get the people to do what you want.
All right.
Oh, Jesus.
Amen.
My God.
See, there's something about being ordained of God and being called of God. See, Moses didn't have to do nothing but just carry out what God said.
Yes.
It was simple instructions. And the problem with most of us, we want to make it difficult. Oh, if I do this, get a good choir, get a good praise team. Well, sometimes you get all of that and they still ain't coming in.
That's right.
Because, see, you don't put in your program, not God's program.
Amen.
Because, see, we can't, I don't care how you try to do this, this is not our work. The work of the Lord belongs to God.
Yes.
And if you are a part of a church, you are in the church. See, some of you ought to have been operating and you should have been really functioning. You should have moved from one promotion to the next. But some of you are so stagnant in your walk until you just bored with church.
Jesus.
You're bored because you're not in your operating position.
My Lord.
You can't operate and be satisfied when you got a job to do and you won't get an operating position.
My Lord.
You got hurt some years ago and you still hurt, so you won't operate.
Hallelujah.
You were talked about, but in years past. Who ain't been talked about since they've been saved?
Amen.
Now let me tell you something. Not since I've been saved, even before I got saved.
Yes.
Yes.
What's wrong with y'all that y'all can't do anything because people talking about you?
My Lord.
You need to let that thing off and say, I must be doing something right.
All right.
You need to get your backbone together and say, shake it on. That ain't gonna bother me. Let them laugh. Let them talk. But operate where God is talking to you. You cannot get promotion. You cannot go further. I don't care how much you come to church. You can be faithful in coming to church and yet not be promoted simply because you won't do anything but sit in church. I had some people, they've been in church about 20, 30 years when they came to me. They had never had no real position. I was playing and singing, and I said, okay, you two, come on up here. We're going to sing today. I said, stop it. Come on. I don't care if you're broke. I don't care what you're doing. I don't care if you can't keep a key. Come on up here. They didn't even know the songs. Good God. 20, 30 years. See, I'm not talking about stuff that I'm learning from somebody else. I'm having to have the experience that people will sit up and get lazy about singing. They won't sing. They just watch the other person.
Amen.
They don't get involved. Because the more you get involved, the more you provoke God.
Yes.
The one thing I learned early, and nobody had to teach me this, when I would begin to praise and magnify God at 15, when the preacher preached, the anointing would take over, and I began to find that things start dropping off my life. See, there's something other people don't have to pray off of you. It drops off because you enter into the presence of the Lord. You don't even know it's gone until other folks bring it up. You don't do such and such no more. You don't act certain ways anymore. See, there's something about praising God. You got to enter in until you can't see the person beside you. You got to enter in until you don't know whether they're there or not. I was down in Mississippi preaching, and this man had driven up a bus to take us someplace, and I had to preach that night. And the bus was full, but he was aching from all the way down, getting ready to go into surgery. Getting ready to go into surgery. He had been in pain for a whole year. He was still operating, still moving forward. And I said, I need everybody just to get up and start praising God till you enter in into his presence for yourself. And when you enter in, God's going to heal you right there. He believed it and began to enter in, and God healed him right there. He could not hardly drive the bus. He said when he got back on the bus, he said, I've been in pain, getting ready to have surgery tomorrow. He said, and you said, stand up and enter into his presence. And as he entered in, God took all the pain away. Right. Ain't nobody can do you like Jesus. Ain't nobody. There's something about praising God. There's something about entering into his presence that destroys yokes. Yes. See, when you begin to enter into his presence, the Bible says he inhabits the praise. How deep do you go into your praise? How deep do you go in and stop looking around to see who else is going in? Because sometimes the other folks don't need what you need.
Amen.
My God, my God.
That's why if I'm sick, once I come up here and I know I'm getting ready to go under the anointing, I don't care if I could have had to hold on to the pulpit when I got up. That thing's getting off as soon as I start preaching.
Hallelujah.
Amen. It ain't never failed. I don't care where I'm at, it's getting off of me. I've been so sick I couldn't get out of bed and had to have somebody comb my hair to get me ready for the service and put on my clothes, help me put on clothes. They say, we can call and tell them you ain't coming. I said, no. Oh, no, I know who I'm serving, and he's not that kind of God. Honey, I'd had the biggest deliverance service that night because I pressed in. People would be all over the altar, and all of them would be getting healed. See, there's something about what you know about God. He's a now, see, we quote these scriptures, but we don't really believe them.
Right. Amen.
He's a very present help.
Amen.
In where?
In trouble.
In the time of trouble.
Amen.
He's a very present help. You got to put that in your soul and in your spirit and say, he gonna help me now.
Yes.
See, now faith is.
Yes.
That's what the word says.
Yes.
The substance of things. What?
Oh,
and the evidence.
God.
That you got to get your mind. I'm not just going to be going to church. I'm not going to just go and not get what I need. I'm not going to go there and God not going to break the chain on something in me and on whatever is going on in my life. You got to get it in your mind. It's working for me. I don't care how it has to work. Glory to God. God got a way of working things out.
Amen.
Praise the Lord.
I heard somebody say last night, they put their hands on themselves. Honey, that works for me.
Amen. Amen.
But then sometimes I had to contend for it.
Yes. My Lord.
That's the time it looked like the devil said, yeah, I'm going to see how long you're gonna stay with this. I remember one night when my husband had gone to work. And I went, and I'm going to get the word in a minute. I went to go to the bathroom. Just felt, okay, let's go in the bathroom. I got so sick. Everything in me broke loose. Everything. I started sweating so profusely until I couldn't get back off the toilet. I couldn't move. The pains were going from one end to the other. I was in, it was a heart attack. I know that because I've had to deal with other people having it and seeing what happened to them. But at that time, the first thing the devil said, see, you're here by yourself. And can't nobody help you. You're going to die by yourself. I heard him say that a couple of times. And then I got mad. I was still in pain. But I got mad. I said, devil, if I die, you won't get no glory.
Amen.
Because I've been obeying God.
My Lord.
Absent from the body, present with the Lord. You won't get no glory here. Go ahead, take your best shot.
Glory God. My God, my God.
Some of y'all would say, well, I would have never said that. You got to know who you're dealing with.
That's right. That's right. That's right.
You got to talk back to the devil. You can't just let him talk to you.
That's right.
Because if you won't talk to the devil will say, yeah, look, your husband at work, the phone all the way across in the other 2 or 3 bedrooms, because this is a big house. It's all the way in another part of the house, and you can't get to it. You can't call your mother. You can't call your husband. You can't call your sister or your brother. Can't nobody get to you. And you done double locked the door, so they had to break in and even order to find you.
My Lord.
But when I told that devil, I don't care what you do, present with the Lord, hallelujah, I said, because I've been obeying God. That's all the question. Do you know you really have been obeying God?
Amen.
Because that's the time when you get in trouble, you need to be able to say, I done all I needed to do. So if I leave out of here now, you can't scare me with what's going on in my body.
All right.
Amen.
My God.
Amen.
Because he tried to scare you.
Yes.
Especially when, now, ain't nothing like having pain and you know you got pain you ain't never had. There's nothing like it. But I tell you, I don't care what kind of pain he bring my way. I let him know right away. This ain't too hard for God.
All right.
Whether I'm by myself or with other people. Now, sometimes, I remember one time it happened and I was coming out the room. Next thing I know, everybody was all over me and they were praying over me. And the same thing, I was in pain to the guy's suit. Done laid out on the floor. And I had to preach that night. And they prayed and I got a little bit better so I could get to the bed. They helped me. And I said, Lord, these pains is acting like they just not going nowhere. I lay there for a while. Then I said, now you might as well get up. They done prayer of faith already done been prayed. See, I'm real crazy. I said the prayer of faith done been prayed. I don't care if I have to crawl out of this room. I'm getting up out of this bed. I crawled to the next room. Pulled myself up on the chair. Oh, y'all don't know. Hallelujah. I didn't even care how I looked. Amen. That was one of the moments where it didn't matter whether I had anything right. Honey, I pulled myself up. The pain was still shooting. I started saying, I'm going to sit up. I got to go to church tonight. All the way there, my family was talking about, you don't have to go. I wasn't even going to be preaching in my town. I had to go to another state. You don't have to go. We'll call him. I said, that devil is a liar. He done put me through this today. He getting ready to get a black eye. And the time I had to stand at the pulpit and do this. I said, everybody start praising God. When I said that, the people started praising God and the anointing came and all the pain left.
Thank you, Jesus.
They didn't even know nothing about what I've been going through that day. I didn't even go through it with them. I didn't tell them at all. But when I called the altar call, it was so full that I went down there and prayed for every single one of them. And God worked miracles all over the place. See, sometimes the devil is trying to stop you from doing what you know God will do.
Amen.
He's trying to hinder your progress. But you're going to have to be able to override. You're going to have your own experience and battle that devil and tell him, devil, you do not have power because my Bible. See, don't quote these scriptures and don't believe it.
Amen. Amen.
You want to say, behold, he said, I give you power over all the power of the if you can't say it to him and make him believe you mean it, he ain't going to move nothing. He ain't just walking out. He done come to attack you. Because I'm going to tell you something. When you really feel in pain, now I know how I am. Because see, I'm not used to a whole lot of pain. When I'm in pain, my sister said, they all know. Oh, Bert really sick. Because they said, I get so humble. They said, she's sick. I'm quiet. I ain't trying to do nothing. She's sick. She real sick. But I'm telling you, all I got to do is begin to say, now this is enough of this. This is enough of this, devil. You got to get out of here. I don't belong to you. You have no authority to be here. I use it all the time. I go from one thing to the next, and I let the devil know, you don't have charge of me. There's only one person in charge. And I gave my life to him on my knees. You were there. Because you were telling me, how can you stay safe? You were there. You can't. What you going to tell your friends? You were there when the devil said, you don't want to be another hypocrite, do you? Oh, I said, devil, you're just a liar. I said, only 15. Hadn't been in church. I didn't grow up in church. I just went being nosy that night. But, honey, the attack of the devil. The attack of the devil when he know you getting ready to make a change over, your house is getting ready to clean. The first thing he do, he'll attack you with what he know you love.
Yes.
He starts saying about how many other folks didn't make it and how many folks that you call sometimes, you know. Now, some of us know when we wasn't saved, we help some folks to get back unsaved. You know you ain't got it like that. What's wrong with you? Going over there in that church like that with them crazy folks. They're waving their hands and all that. Because the devil had already attacked me. You want to go to a dignified church. Anybody know what I'm talking about?
Amen.
My mom had been in the sanctified and then backslid. Already knew that how they did. Oh, they get real off. And I said, my God, they be all over the place. I'm going to be a dignified church where if they shout, they're going to shout.
Hallelujah. Glory.
See, we got plans for how we want to be saved. We got plans on how we want to be in church.
My Lord.
And I tell you, the night I went down there, Pastor Owens, it was a shame. I had every hair laid in place. When I got up from that altar, I had long hair. It was all over with sawdust all throughout it. See, when you're full of pride, it look like God mopped you up on the floor. You know, see, this is why I know some people don't get delivered. They come in wanting to keep what they want to keep.
Amen.
But you need to let God do what he needs to do. Sometimes we're too busy saying, oh, they don't take all that shit, man. Honey, you don't know where them people done been. Let them shake. I don't care if they shake all the way down to the floor. They shake and wiggle it. Some of them got to get a whole gang of stuff off. You don't know where they done been. Man, my hands, I was so wild when I got saved. My hands would be everywhere. I might slap anybody. And it wasn't intentional. I just didn't have it. I didn't have it together. I wasn't used to this new feeling. But as God began to deliver, the more he delivered, and my hands got softer. You know, I mean, you know what I'm talking about. You get soft, you get more composed. But I tell you, when I get mad at the devil, I still get, I'm bad. I ain't gonna tell nobody I'm bad. I get mad with him. All I gotta do is see him cut up. And I get mad with him. Because I've seen how he's taken people out. People that should have been anointed, he's taking them out of the church. I get mad. Some of them don't even want to see me come. They said, here comes Sister Bertha. Lord have mercy. I can hear them telling the kids. Them kids that let me in because see me when they were saved. Aunt Bertha. And then the mom said, I didn't tell you to let no Aunt Bertha up in here. I'm to let you know we still love you.
Amen.
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 See, sometimes you got to go back by. I'm saying this, I don't know who it is, but sometimes you got to go back by some people that you know back. Somebody would come see me if I had run out of here. But sometimes you need somebody to encourage you, to let them know, I ain't condemning you that you done got out here and act like you don't know me no more. But I want you to know I love you. I come by because I want to be concerned.
That's right. That's right.
It takes all that to get people back.
That's right.
Yes, someone went out with all kinds of mess going on after they left out. But you still got to get them back. Don't hell is going to be their home.
Amen.
And you got to get so concerned that they cannot go to hell that you begin to fight for them.
All right.
Fight for them on your knees.
Yes.
I fight so on my knees sometimes for some. I know there's no way possible for them to know I've been praying for them until they start writing me and say, I was over in Puerto Rico. I got in a bad motorcycle accident and I heard you on your knees praying for me. And they had that one day, to get out of that country because they were going to lose their foot. Mm-hmm. And they said they heard me pray and they said, I came. I said, no, I didn't come. They said, I came and said, get out of here and get out of here now. See, when you start praying at certain levels, even when people done backslid, they begin to hear you, see you coming up in places. It's just an angel. It's not me, but God knows how to reach people. When you've been concerned about them, when they don't see nobody else coming to see about them.
Amen.
You just can't just pray and then think that, oh, well, I ain't got no time for them because, you know, they might have their head messed up. How many of us done had our head messed up before we ever got saved?
Amen.
Yes.
Amen.
Yes.
Out of whack and all kinds of stuff. But I tell you something, some of them same people, they're saved now because I did go back by.
Thank you, Jesus.
Their children got saved.
Yes.
We're not just reaching out for the one that is saved, but sometimes you're reaching out for the ones that have not gotten saved yet.
Yes.
And the whole family's getting ready to come in. So the outreach has to be because you really love the Lord. You have to love him so that you're not looking at, well, you know, I'm not minister so-and-so, I'm not deacon so-and-so. No, you're saved.
Amen.
Because the word said, behold, I give you power.
Yes.
What the office name got to do with it?
My Lord. My Lord.
That's right.
That don't have nothing to do with it. What it really has to do, are you willing to be an advocate for God? All I knew was that because I'd done a lot of praying as a teenager, God began to redirect my steps. I found out that people that I thought wanted to be around me, I wanted to be around them so bad. But see, I'm going to tell you something. If the calling and the election of God is really on you, you're going to find out you can't walk with everybody.
Amen.
Amen.
Ain't no sense in thinking that you can hang with all the young folks. If the calling and election of God is really on you, you'll find out even the young folks don't want to be around you.
My Lord.
Now, unless they're going to join you.
All right.
And because of the way God was doing with me at that time in my life, I didn't know. But then preachers started coming for me before I was even 16 years old. They started coming because they started knowing. I knew I couldn't stay saved without prayer. I don't know how some of y'all think you can stay saved if you don't have prayer.
Oh, my God.
My God.
I don't understand that. Because at 16, 15, I knew that wasn't no older folks coming by to see whether I was in church, but my mother and father wasn't in church. They wasn't coming by. We had no church affiliation other than my grandmother's that they went to church, but the immediate family didn't have no connection. And I was the first one to get saved. And it was a summer revival. And most folks don't fool around with the young folks because they ain't got no offering. They just think they're in and then they're going to be back out. Now, this is where we miss some valuable young folks. Because sometimes the fire and the calling of God is already on their lives.
Amen.
I My church filled up because, honey, when God saved me, I'm telling you, I went through my whole neighborhood and nobody told me I had to go through it. I went through my whole neighborhood saying, will you go to church with me? And one by one, adults and all, people I babysit with, people that was young folks I used to fight and carry on with, dance with, all kinds of stuff. Honey, I say, you want to go to church with me? I want you to go to church with me. Honey, I asked them until our church was full of young folks. Old folks too. I got grandmoms and all of them that thought they were saved. Found out they weren't saved. I said, if they start cussing, they might get saved.
My Lord.
And they stopped cussing because they found out I had something that they did not have. Hear me plainly. You cannot go around thinking that only one certain person going to get them saved. Honey, it's the one that will go after the people. It's the one that will have a desire to reach out. Hallelujah. All you got to do is get them to church, then God do the rest through the preacher. But some of you don't have no get up and go, and nobody want to follow you because you won't ask nobody.
Amen.
Jesus.
You got to be willing to ask them over and over again.
Yes.
If they didn't come that time, I'll be back the next time. You didn't go with me last time. I understand you're busy, but can you go? We in revival. And because I was so young, I guess they said, well, let me go on and get this little girl off my back. And God would get them. God would get them. See, when you put in prayer, and I was on my knees every day. I mean, it was an everyday thing. I had got to live because I knew I couldn't stay saved on my own. Because there was that call to go back there and do party thing. But I knew I needed to stay saved.
Yeah.
See, whatever, and I didn't mix that back up. Honey, once I got saved, I'm telling you, my friends couldn't get me back out there. They tried. When the proms came, everybody was, hey, you ain't going to go to your last prom. I ain't thinking about that prom. I'm going to be in church. I'm going to be in church. That is not my cup of tea now. Some of the guys were, come to the football game. No, because see, after you go to the football game, you're going to have the after party. And I ain't going to that either, because see, you don't have to dance. But, no, I ain't got that kind of power yet. I ain't going there.
I know that's right.
See, y'all don't want to say you don't have that kind of power. You need to know where you got limits.
That's right.
Amen.
Old folks need to know when you got limits.
That's right.
Because see, some of y'all pushing the button because you think you old and ain't nobody going to tell me what I can do. So you want to push the limits and go out with some people and you know they ain't got a lick of sense. And you still, well, I'm tired of eating with the sisters. I'm tired of eating with the brothers. Next thing you going out with somebody that ain't even saved at all.
My Lord.
Lord Jesus. Uh-oh. My Lord.
All because you got a lonely demon on you.
Oh, glory.
And I call it a demon.
My.
Because it'll make you do things that you ain't wanting to do.
Uh-oh.
And if they tell you, oh, you sure look good today. You smell so good.
Come on. Yes, sir.
You ain't heard nobody say nothing so long.
Uh-oh. Come on. Teach up in here. Come on.
We got more. We got more.